one to go, and we head out west where the championship trophy still resides, and from 2019, and they're the top seeds again this year. Cal State San Bernardino hosting as our top seed, still the defending champions of the sport. That 2019 title run was the first undefeated team to win it all in a decade. The CCAA champions are top 10 in the nation in hitting percentage this season, thanks to the steady passing of Marley Nunley at over 11 assists per set. She led the conference and ranks near the top in the national ranks. Final spot in this region belongs to Alaska Anchorage. They were just the national runner-up 5 years ago.
Yeah, our mindset going into this regional tournament is just taking it match by match, and we have a few practices coming up this week that we're going to try to squeeze as much work out of so we can be ready for this weekend.
It's always good to play at home. It's always so much fun to have that amount of support, watching you and just cheering you on throughout the game. And it always just feels good to feel at home. And on the road, it can get a little bit tough, and you play with tougher crowds. And so I think being at home allows us to really hone in more on our game instead of having to kind of focus on all the outside elements of that. Bring the fun, honestly. Just come in, have a good time, watch some good volleyball. It's always a fun time to watch postseason volleyball, no matter who you're cheering for. And so just coming in and being ready to, get a little rowdy.
Well, we're just super excited to be hosting. It's a real comfort to know that our players will be able to sleep in their own beds, and they'll be able to stay up on their studies, and more importantly, we're just going to have the entire community and our family and friends there supporting us. It's going to be a really exciting tournament. There's some great teams in it. We've faced Anchorage before in regional tournaments, and they're always a really, really tough competitor. So we're excited to kick this thing off.
All right, that's 64 teams. Wayne, before we look at the entire bracket, your thoughts out west?
Not many surprises here. The top three teams went out and did what they had to do and won their conferences, and all 8 teams were in the final regional rankings. They all made the cut. So there were a few seedings that shuffled from those previous rankings, but nothing really too surprising, especially when you have, Cal State, San Bernardino, and Western Washington, who, if you watch D2 women's volleyball, they're just two of the most fun teams to watch. Cal State, San Bernardino, it's kind of funny to me that this was the first time they were back on the court in 2 years. The Yotes dropped 2 games in the Colorado Premier Challenge. When, you play that competition, like we mentioned out there, all of a sudden the sky is falling, right? But instead they haven't lost a game since, right? They have Alexis Cardoza is once again the CCAA Player of the Year and could very well be the National Player of the Year. And sure enough, 22 wins later, the reigning champs look as scary as ever. And when they're doing their thing, they're tough to beat. As they showed, last time out, they were undefeated national champions. And that's kind of just the beauty of the Wild West, is these really strong teams.